Go! I got your... God damn it!
Movement!
You got it!
All right.
Hey you good people, hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to do a top 5 reasons why I don't want to pay tax. And I don't think I should pay tax, and I don't think you should all pay tax. This can also act as a top 5 reasons why we need tax reform in Australia. Righto, reason number 1. Our tax went to fund Gaza directly through the UN and through humanitarian aid. This means for about a decade, our tax dollars have been going straight to Hamas to help them build tunnels. I don't know if you're familiar with my playstyle on Survivor difficulties, but half the battle is setting mines beforehand and luring enemies into traps. By allowing them to build tunnels and funding essentially their whole war effort, Biden's pull-out of Afghanistan armed the region, his unfreezing of funds to Iran obviously funded Hamas, greatly, by proxy through Iran, but, yes, this allowed Hamas to then stage October 7 to grab hostages to lure Israel into traps. I didn't want my taxpayer monies going to that at all. I don't know about you guys. In fact, it makes me question the intelligence of not only our government, but the UN. Like, okay, they funded a terrorist organization for essentially 10 years while they set up a massive terror guerrilla war campaign, like right under their noses. Like, the UN was controlling the humanitarian aid. Surely they should have realized. Okay, they're a bunch of idiots. Number 2, I've already touched on the green energy transition. Obviously, I don't want to fund China or child slave for cobalt or anything else that goes into green energy. I don't want them to drive up the cost of living, and I don't want them to make the cost of living crisis and housing crises that we have in Australia any worse. So, number 2 is the stupid leftist green energy transition and its knock-on effects of driving up energy costs, which drives up the cost of everything through transport. Number 3 is mass immigration. I don't think we should be importing the Islamic world while we're engaged with helping Israel fight a guerrilla terror proxy war funded by Iran. I think it's a very silly idea to import immigrants that are Islamic, particularly because moderate Islamic people clearly have no power over the fundamentalists and extremists. Case in point would be Iran's current leader, an obvious Islamic extremist, and of course Palestine electing Hamas. Then of course we've got all the problems within Islam: child marriage, domestic abuse, the jizya, so a two-tiered society of Islamic supremacy where Christians and Jews have to pay taxes that Islamic people don't. All that's a problem. Obviously the Islamic world's support of terrorism is also a problem. You don't need to go past the Sydney Opera House riots in Australia to see that and see what they were chanting. Of course, the media tried to control this narrative by saying, "Where are the Jews?" as if that's any better. We know they was chanting "Gas the Jews." So, number 3, I don't want any of my tax money going towards mass immigration, mass importing of the Islamic world into Australia. Yeah. I consider that taxation without representation, because any representation would have me immediately not paying such a tax that I disagree with. So, number 4 is abortion. I do not believe in supporting abortion. I do not believe by supporting abortion I'm supporting path of least resistance for people towards promiscuity. I don't agree with either of those things. I'm Christian. It is absurd that the tax pool gets used to fund abortion in Australia. It is absurd that against Christian wishes the tax pool is used to fund abortion in Australia. I am not a militant or totalitarian Christian. If leftists wish to fund this, they are free to. They are not free to say, "I must fund this." I do not wish to be collectively responsible for ripping apart babies in wombs. So, number 4, I am against taxpayer-funded abortion. Number 5, I do not want any of my taxpayer money going towards gender-affirming care for transsexual people. I have no issues with transsexual people. You do you. We should not be cutting tits off kids. We should not be giving hormones to kids. Period. There's an age of consent for these things. I am firmly of the opinion that the left, especially queer theorists, are trying to blur the age of consent around kids around everything, including sex. That means including their horrible tolerance towards minor attracted persons, as they call them. Historically, queer theorists have been on this path for a long time. Foucault himself defended pedophilia in essays. So, firmly against queer theory, firmly against funding anything to do with queer theory, including pride marches, especially in Australia, for example, that $1 million pride march across the Sydney Harbour Bridge. What a waste of taxpayer money. That is ridiculous. It's ridiculous that my money went to funding that. So you may have noticed a theme with all of the 5 things I mentioned. They all involve leftist overreach using taxpayer money. Now, that's a real issue. It's a real issue because it is very politically partisan. The right doesn't support any of these things, at least to my knowledge they don't. Because they don't support these things, they're essentially being taxed without representation to support these things. That is completely absurd. The political representation in Australia is, well, on the right wing, is weak at best. Like, don't get me wrong, Pauline Hanson's good, Babbitt's good, Alex Antic's good. I don't even consider them truly right wing though. Like, they haven't spoken up about immigration or anything like that. Only Pauline Hanson really has. But yeah, we're not represented. It's crazy. It's like insane left bias in Australia. I should never, of course, have left out Reddick. Like, he's been very outspoken on vaccine injuries, jab injuries, and all that sort of thing. He is a good force for Australia as well.
I know you're out there.
Alright, so those are 5 ways I do not wish my taxpayer money getting used, and 5 good arguments towards considering yourself being robbed by the Australian government into funding things you do not want to fund. They could simply use it to solve Australia's actual problems, like a housing crisis, energy crisis, cost of living crisis. Instead, they use it to fund these things. It is absurd. It is clear thievery and clear taxation without proper representation in a politically biased left-wing government that is just causing problems.
right.
Don't know what it was. The place is empty. I think that's them. I'll go see what's up. Don't see anything. God damn it!
Movement!
You got it! Right here!
Don't fuck with me. This is so much better than getting drunk and watching anime.
We'll string you up! Ah!
Ambush! Damn it!
Someone's out there.
She steadies me.
Shit.